Hello. Let me do quick review of Actress by Anne Enright, her 2020 novel, which focuses on a mother and a daughter. Mother, star of kind of golden age Hollywood screen and stage, who gets kind of mulched up by the system, and her daughter, who is always in her shadow, always standing to the corner stage to look on as her mother, and sort of is in some ways her is the one who's expected to be her biggest fan. She when she comes off the stage, she says, "How was I?" in that kind of, you know, that way that maybe a certain person who kind of looks for that kind of fame, that kind of audience, is always looking for affirmation. Um, but also becomes Nora, the daughter, becomes a caretaker by the end, and finally has to go on um, after her, when her mother dies in her late 50s, after a very hard life, and with some with mental illness, with an inexplicable act of violence that she's committed, that we hear about at the beginning of the novel, that finally kind of nails down and ruins her in a way that, um, while being like an actress, especially a Hollywood actress, basically it was a time when, you turn 30 and it's like you're expected to just go home and shut the door. And her mother did not go home and shut the door, but continued to get battered down and down. And We learn throughout the novel exactly uh, what was committed against her. It's a novel that does have a couple of instances of sexual assault in it, which unfortunately frame a kind of an all too common backdrop to the lives of women in our society right up until this present day, and both the daughter and the mother, Nora, who is the eyes, who we see Catherine Odell through, and that also we see the world through, is discovers kind of connections between her and her mother that she didn't even realize at the time. I think a lovely part of this novel is that Catherine dies when she is probably in her 30s or something like that, 20s, 30s. But then this is Catherine, this is Nora talking about this when she is in her late 50s. It's like she is older than her mother was when she dies. This is uncharted territory, and she is having to make her own way past this point, as a kind of a fair to middling novelist is her job. And the book is the great thing about this novel is that it does that interiority thing where, I guess, if you were looking at these events just kind of on the face of them, it's like, oh, not much happens, but this is all an interior journey, and Nora trying to figure things out, trying to come to terms, trying to figure out a way forward. um, and she seems to be addressing this to a husband, you think, at the beginning. I'm not quite sure who she is actually addressing it by the end. I think it's probably herself, but um, you know, there's the mystery of who her father is. There's the mystery of, her mother, the actress. Like, where was the core of her mother? Um, and that being kind of a slippery thing. This isn't like a mommy dearest thing. It's not like um, Catherine mistreated Nora, but Catherine was Catherine, and Catherine was a complex, damaged soul. I listened to the audiobook of this, read by the author herself, Anne Enright, in a kind of a wonderful, soft, lilting Irish accent. And I don't mean that, oh, look at the Irish, but more kind of like just it's that, just that intimate voice of you think this is a voice of a woman talking to her lover about this, about sharing kind of the really internal things. She addresses other people as well. That's the thing, I think, is I think there's a multiple people that are getting addressed here, but by the end, you get the sense that Nora is addressing herself, and it's like, I guess I'll have to go on and she does go on. Um, it's and you and I it's a wonderfully shaped novel. It was one of these things of I got to the end of listening to it and I listened to the end again and I listened to the beginning again, and that image of Nora as a young child standing on like stage left, looking at her mother with the spotlight on her, and like seeing all the artifice and stuff like that, and bathing. And it's like at the very end, she's there's a witnessing that goes on, which is suddenly it's not like she's not just one of the audience. She's the one. She's the one, and that's that was quite beautiful. All right, that's my rambling thoughts on Actress by Anne Enright. More videos later.